Okay, what if I can't be hypnotized? Well, trance is a perfectly natural state. Matter of fact, you have likely been in trance multiple times today. If you've gotten very relaxed, potentially lost some time, you've probably been in trance. If you've been driving on the highway or just down the road, whatever makes you happy, and lost a few minutes, a few miles, or whatnot, you probably experienced highway hypnosis. It's called highway hypnosis for a reason. It really is a form of trance. If you are the type who, okay, so maybe you don't drive. I actually did meet somebody who said they've never been in highway hypnosis because they don't drive. So let's say that instead of that, maybe you watch TV or read. I'm a big reader. And you go and you get lost in your book, you get lost in your movie, you get lost in your TV show, whatever you get lost in. And you're so lost in that thing because that has now taken over your whole world that you can't hear maybe your mother calling you or your father telling you to do a chore. Maybe you can't even hear your spouse. And then your spouse has to come and annoy you. That is most likely a form of trance. I have personally watched my husband. I've had to go over, he's been so engrossed in his film or movie or sci-fi show, whatever he was watching on television, he's a big TV junkie, that I turned off the television after talking to him. He didn't respond. I was in front of him, talked to him again, he still didn't respond. I turned off the TV and then stood there and waited. 2 or 3 minutes later, he came out and said, "Wow, what happened to the television?" He was in trance. He was so far deep that he didn't even notice any of that happening. He didn't notice that I was right in front of him until he woke up. His eyes were wide awake. All those are forms of trance. And let's say that you're one of those people that you don't get highway hypnosis. Okay, you're not a big reader. So you don't get lost in a good book. You don't get lost in a good movie. You don't get lost in your work or your art or whatever. Do you go to sleep? If the answer is yes, and I really do hope the answer is yes because you're supposed to be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, that feeling of relaxation right before you actually enter sleep, that's the beginning of a trance state. Now, you might not be in it very, very long because you're converting to sleep. And that's perfectly natural and perfectly acceptable. But everybody can go into trance. I've never yet met a single person who has not gone into trance, even if another hypnotherapist says that they can't go into trance. It's really easy to go into trance. And any hypnotherapist who tells you that you can't go into trance needs to go back to school, because it's all a matter of how long. How long does it take you to go into trance and how fast you go into trance. I've taken multiple people who said, "I can't go into trance, hypnotherapist X, Y, and Z told me." Really? Because they were completely out in less than 30 seconds on my recliner.